Hello, my name is Melody Stapleton, and I'm currently a student with The Ohio Christian University, taking a class in oral communications. And one of the requirements is that you have to have an audience of 5. And with this speech, I don't have an audience of 5, I have an audience of 4. So you can see some of my friends in the background, but I will turn the laptop so we can capture everybody that's present. So see, you can see 4 people, 4 friends. Okay, thank you, friends. All right, so moving on here, we're going to discuss historic schools. I think we all have experienced historic schools in our time. Schools that our grandparents may have attended, schools that our parents may have attended, schools we had attended, and we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the memories of those schools. So let's imagine we're back in school again. We're walking in, the bell's ringing, the halls are crowded, the teachers are standing at the doors waiting for the students to come to their homerooms. The students are rushing to beat the bell so they're not tardy. Those were the days. Some of the other points of those days was a smell. We can remember the smell of coal, which was fossil fuel. We could smell the milk, the chocolate milk that we would be waiting for at lunchtime or break, the chalk dust, the smell of old books in the library. It's just the smell in the air, the smell in the school, walking in. We can also remember the heat and the cold. You know, there were rooms that you were near where the coal was heating the rooms. Those rooms would be extremely warm, but most of the rooms in the schools would be cold. Let's talk about when it was hot. I can remember not waiting to get out of school to go home. All of the windows would be up because it was just so hot. You'd be sweating. I don't remember the teachers having fans. I just remember that the windows were up. You had bees that come in through the windows. You had wasps that would come in, flies. You'd have to deal with all that. These are just some of the times that we dealt with in old times. And I'm not saying that I'm old. It's just these are some things that I remember. And those are just things that we will not forget. Moving on, I do want to tell you about some of the schools that are in the county where I live. I live in Adams County in a town called West Union, and that town had 2. They had a West Union Elementary and a West Union High School. So my visual for my speech is a black and white print that was created by a local artist. And so this top one is the West Union Elementary, and the bottom one is the West Union High School. The West Union Elementary was erected in 1924, and the West Union High School was erected in 1939. And some of the information that I'm going to tell you about today, like in an article dated and posted September the 3rd, 2009, a reporter by the name of Wendy Mitchell from the Maysville Ledger-Independent, she wrote in the MaysvilleOnline.com, explains of poor evaluations, the West Union Elementary receiving a 27% score out of 100, meaning that the school was in bad shape. So in 2010, the new schools that they were building was close to being done. The students was going to be looking forward to spending a new class year in a new school. And 2, as not only the West Union schools, but there was other schools in the county that were demolished and received new schools. I think in 2010, all of the schools in the county, in Adams County, received new schools. And from another site that I looked into, in 2010, not only did Ohio lose 2 schools that were created in 24 and 39, they also lost Central School of Lawrence County that was erected in 1908. So, and I think on that list, there was like 90 schools in 2010 that were demolished, and Lawrence County being the oldest one that was demolished that year. So, you know, Adams County Historic Schools are long gone, and the modernized school are here to stay, and the memories will always be. So, if I've got anybody in the audience that might want to make a statement or talk about some experiences that their kids had when they went to school, or their grandkids, or maybe their parents or their grandparents. I just know from my experience, my husband attended West Union High School later on. Our son attended West Union High School. Our grandkids, they're in the new schools, so they're getting the deluxe, because they're heated with the not the satellite, but the solar system, the solar heat. So anyway, anybody from the audience that would want to say anything, go ahead before I close my speech.
I remember when Jeremy was in school and they had the ramp, and he's my son, and he was running down the ramp and fell because it was always slick and broke his collarbone. Then after that time, they put safety strips down the ramp to prevent that from happening.
Right.
I wonder how many other kids have fell over the years and done the same thing.
Even though they are much more modernized now, I think it was a lot simpler back then.
Yeah.
And one of the good things too in school, you always had lunchtime apple crisp.
Yeah.
That was one of the things you always look forward to.
The one thing that I really liked from lunches was the sloppy joes, and the gingerbread cake with the it was the warm green like pudding type pudding. I don't know, that was just something that I just remembered about the foods.
Well, I never went to school in West Union. I went to school in Peebles, which eventually their schools were replaced also.
Right, they were demolished too.
But my husband went the whole time to school in West Union, and his sisters and our children and our grandchildren all went there. And when they tore the schools down, they were in tears because they said they just couldn't understand to see. It was just a memory that was taken away.
It was a sad time. I do have a gentleman that's here with us that could probably tell you a little bit about what they called the one schoolroom house, the Page School.
One room school, yeah.
Yep.
What could you say?
Yeah, I wrote a poem about it.
So he's got.
I can't recite it. I wish I'd had it with me.
Yeah. So those are some of the really good memories about our historic schools in our county. So in closing, I hope you enjoyed the speech, and you got some information out of what we give you today, and maybe we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.